Okay, welcome back to the Homemade Holidays series. My name is Matt Stevens, and I'm going to cook a special recipe for you from the Stevens family. Actually, from the Spence family. This is my grandmother's stuffing recipe. So, before we get into the cooking part, I'll tell you a quick story about why this is meaningful to me. So last year I did a video about cooking applesauce, which is a recipe from my other grandmother, my paternal grandmother. And that was the recipe that I associated with her and remembered from her, and then the stuffing is the one that I associate with my other grandmother. And always around this time of year, I would try to cook these things for my family, my wife and children, and I always had to reach out to one of my sisters to find out exactly what the recipe is. And so I would text her or call her or email her and ask her to send me the recipes. And she got so tired of sending me the recipes every year that she made me these towels with the recipe on it. So this is last year with the applesauce, and then this is the stuffing recipe. So I don't have to call Martha anymore. I still do because she's a nice person to talk to, but I don't have to call her for the recipe because I've got it right here on these towels. So thank you, Martha. So, in order to cook the stuffing today, I'm a serviceable cook, but I'm not great, so I need an assistant. So I brought my best cooking assistant with me today. So come in. I've got Master Gardener Elf, Miss Joey Byrne.
Good afternoon.
All right, thank you for joining me today.
You're quite welcome.
So we're going to start by chopping up our vegetables here. So we've got celery, parsley, and onion, and we're gonna.
And we have clean hands.
We do have clean hands, absolutely. So we're gonna chop those up. You can chop some, and then I can chop some if you want.
Okay.
All right.
That sounds good.
She's got no fear. She's starting with the onion.
And I am going to put something under the board to keep it from slipping.
Okay.
Because it's trying to slide around. There we go. Well, we've got to get things stinky in here to start off.
You're doing great. Look at that. Now I've never seen an elf cry before. Are you gonna start crying?
Absolutely not.
Oh, okay,
Absolutely
great.
not.
Fantastic.
And we're going to pretend that we've washed it.
We are. Yeah, you always want to wash your vegetables, get them nice and clean. While Joey is chopping up the onion, I'm going to tell you about how we prepare our bread. So this is a bread stuffing recipe. So start with your loaf of bread, and I always use butter bread just because I like the flavor, or potato bread. You know, I kind of like that better than just white bread or wheat bread, I guess. So I always use one of those, but you can use whatever bread you like. We leave it out for a couple hours the night before we cook to get it a little bit crusty. Makes it easier to cut, and also makes it hold up better if you stuff it inside the turkey. If you just make it with bread that's already soft, then everything just kind of turns to mush when you cook it. So getting it a little crispy to start with is good. If you forget to leave it out overnight, you can cheat a little bit by putting it in the oven for a few minutes on like a low broil, or you could use like a baguette or something that's kind of already crusty. I guess that would work. Whatever you want to do. But Grandma always left it out overnight. So
You want to talk about your other ingredients?
So Joey's chopping up the onion, and now she's working on the parsley. Right? So
That's correct.
we're going to use, the recipe calls for about a cup of each. Now, I will say this. My sister Martha got my grandmother to write this recipe down. But she was told explicitly that there's not a recipe for stuffing. Grandma just grabs the ingredients and she starts cutting, and she puts in what she thinks she needs. So the recipe that's written down here is just sort of an approximation for us to go by. If you want to put a little more or less of something in here, you can. If you want to add something that's not on the list, then that's fine too. But we're aiming for about a cup of each of these vegetables to get started.
So it's subject to tweak.
Of course. All right.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. All right.
Oh, wow, smells good already.
Yeah. So we've got our frying pan hot. So we're gonna cook all our vegetables, get them nice and soft. Right?
That is correct.
Yep.
We're on our way.
And you just tell me when they're ready.
We're close. All right, we're gonna let them sit just a second.
Yeah.
Just 1 second. And then that should be ready. What's next? What's our next step?
We're gonna put the bread in there.
Okay, that's our next step. How much bread goes in?
Oh,
More bread I was wondering why that was over on the side there. This looked like a lot of, oil to go in and a little bit of bread. Okay.
all right. Okay. All right, so, you know, your bread, your crispy bread, gotta cut that up into cubes. So, do that real quick. And that bread is gonna go into your vegetable mixture.
All right, we're ready when you are.
All right, so we're gonna dump the bread into our frying pan. And here's where your proportions come in, right? You don't wanna have too much bread and not enough vegetables, because that would be boring, right?
That's correct.
We want this to taste good, and we want it to be nice and moist and delicious.
All right,
Here,
I'm gonna put this over here.
yep. That looks like a lot.
No, it isn't.
It's not.
That is gonna be perfect.
Okay.
I can already tell you.
All right, so we're gonna pour this over top of our bread and
It's going to
vegetables and everything. Get everything nice and soaked.
Oh, that looks good.
All right, fantastic.
And you might wanna just do that just a little bit.
Just squish it all in
And
there.
squish it
make
down
sure
good,
it
so to let
gets-
that bread get a little bit of that.
Mhm, yeah,
Okay.
fantastic. Oh, we should get a shot of this. My goodness, look at that. If I tip it over too much, all the milk's gonna go everywhere, so.
It's very
Look
pretty.
at that. All right, so now, here's an important thing to know. We've just put a mixture of egg and milk on top of our bread, right? So what are we gonna wanna do when we cook this? We're gonna wanna make sure.
Cook it long enough, so
We're gonna make sure we
so
cook
we
it
don't
long
get any
enough.
of the vanillas, the salmonella or the other ones. Yeah,
Exactly.
gotcha.
Yeah, we're
And
gonna-
at what temperature, might I ask?
Well, it's funny, the towel doesn't say that, but.
Oh,
I'll
so
tell
we're
ya.
gonna wing that one.
No. What I normally do is I set the oven for 350, right? And I'll put it in for 30 minutes or so, and then just kind of keep an eye on it and see
Until it browns
how it's
up.
going. You want it to be golden brown on the top, and you want to make sure that egg, has had a chance to cook and everything. Now, you're probably going to cook something like this on Thanksgiving, so you're going to have, a turkey cooking or a ham or something else. So, what we'll normally do is we'll cook the meat first and let that cook in the oven, and that takes up most of your space in the oven. And then when you take the meat out and you start to cook that, that's when this is going to go in. All right, so by the time
While your meat
bird's
is
carved
is
and ready to
raised.
serve, then this will be ready to come out. Okay.
Oh,
So-
is it ready?
It's already preheated,
Oh,
so we
preheated
just
oven.
gotta put it in. And we'll
Tick,
come
tick,
back
tick.
in 30.
No,
Well, what do you think, Joey? Should we check on our stuffing?
smells done to me.
Smells good. All right, let's pull it out and see how it looks.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow.
That's perfect.
That is pretty.
Look at that.
So what we're gonna do is we're gonna try some of this, right?
Mm.
Because it looks great. I'm sure it tastes great. But
You gonna spoon it or cut it? Spoon it.
yeah, Yeah, I'm gonna spoon it.
Okay.
All right. Ooh, look at that. There you go. I'll give you some more. You look hungry.
Gosh, that looks good. You know what we need?
Gravy.
Gravy,
Yeah.
big
You
piece
didn't
of
cook
turkey,
gravy.
and some cranberry sauce.
I
All on this
know.
teeny tiny little plate.
You can have more if you want. I
I'm
don't-
just kidding.
Yeah, okay. All right, so let's try it. Let's see how it is. It's still steaming. It's nice and warm.
You're brave.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
God,
yeah.
it smells good. Oh, it smells so good.
We did it right. We did it right.
Oh my goodness. Thank you, Grandma.
Mm-hmm.
That is
Yeah.
delicious. And it's crunchy, but it's kind of light.
Mm-hmm.
Not heavy like my stuffing. My stuffing's kind of,
Yeah. We'll do your stuffing next year.
okay. The heavy stuff. This is delicious.
Yeah. Just like Grandma used to make. Well, thank you for helping me today.
You're
Mas-
welcome.
Master Gardener Elf Joey. I didn't know until today that we had an elf among the Master Gardener volunteers, but now that we're headed into Christmas season, I'll be interested to see what other mischief our little elf gets into.
We shall see.
All right. Happy holidays.
Merry Christmas.